Hey guys, Losing Louie here. This is episode 1 of Louie Does Politics. It is not a silver video, so feel free to skip if you're not into that. But I woke up this morning and got a cup of coffee. By the way, happy St. Patrick's Day. I don't know if God made the Irish number one, but they certainly come pretty close. Alrighty. But anyway, this topic is going to be why protectionism is good and why free trade is bad. And I'm taking the opposite side of this debate. Of course, it's been widely believed for years that we are in a global economy, which we are, that free trade is good, that global competition is good, and we should embrace that. Matter of fact, everybody tells us that. The current administration, for sure. Well, just recently, the candidate Donald Trump has brought up the concept of protectionism and tariffs, and he's been getting blasted for that, for having those beliefs. And he doesn't say he's a protectionist, but I think he is. And I think he does want to bring jobs back to America. I remember in the 80s, I was working for a manufacturer of blowout preventers in the oil field industry. And we used to make these these large steel devices that capped oil wells. And it was right about the early 80s that I noticed that all of the orders had switched from U.S. made mills, like in Pittsburgh and so forth, to Japanese mills. And they produced a superior product, and they did it at a lower price, and it was very pretty. It was all shined up, and certainly, all the business started moving to Japan. Well, what ensued after that is the closure of all the steel mills in the United States, and the putting out of work of an entire generation of people that made their living making steel, closing the plants, devastating the the cities. And I thought, well, maybe that was for the better because we really did need to have lower costs. And I've been torn on this subject because I am a capitalist and I do believe in paying the best price and getting the best quality. I certainly do that when I buy coins. But lately, I've been wondering if it's gone too far. And partly what brought that up was I was clipping my nails this morning, and someone had brought this device into my home. Not sure where it came from, if it was a gift or it was bought at the dollar store. But this is what they call a nail clipper these days. I doubt it even says made in China because they probably wouldn't take the time to stamp it. I could literally bend it if I tried. And I went about, trying to clip my fingernails. And this is a toenail clipper, by the way, the biggest device they sell. And when you go to clip your nails, it doesn't even, okay, look what you get. You get like a splinter. I mean, it is a wholly horrible thing. And I know you have probably got one of these in your home. It's a dull blade. It's a cheap piece of crap. And then I fiddled with it a little bit, and it started to come apart on me. And it's just shit, okay? And then I went back in my drawer, and I found this little guy. I thought it was older, but it was actually made in 1992 by Trim, made in the United States. I'll get to the point here in a minute. I have a couple things to say. Well, you probably can't say that, but it's made in the United States, patent pended, stainless steel, beefy as all get out. The spring after, what is that, 12 to 25 years is solid. It is just a solid fingernail clipper. Works first time, every time. The quality was there. Sometimes I think we have to be careful what we wish for because we want cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And we, the people, I think, are not smart enough to really understand the devastation that happens when you turn to a society that uses stuff like this. All right, and you can see this in everything, whether it's a lamp or a piece of furniture or virtually everything we consume these days. The cheaper products are throwaway. It's horrible for the environment as well. That a lot of this stuff just goes right in the trash as opposed to lasting a lifetime. Okay, when a craftsman makes something, it lasts, forever. It can be fixed, it can be repaired, it can be shined, it can be brought back. I know those of you that do mechanical work, if you're ever looking for a tool, you go right to the tools that were made in the old days because they're solid. Okay, the new stuff, if you get it at Home Depot, it's a piece of crap. And I wonder why we have farmed out all of our manufacturing. I think in the beginning it was done for environmentalism. I think it was done for protectionism. I'm sorry, it was done for environmentalism. It was done to protect the environment. I think it was done to bust the unions, and which needed busting because they had become too fat and lazy and powerful, and decided that they, should get an unlimited amount of money for what they produced, even if it could be produced much cheaper elsewhere. And, so I understood that trend. But now we've gone so far that stuff like this is being made across the planet, probably being made by children, slave wages, and the countries that manufacture this stuff, or at least many of them, like China, have polluted their environment so intensively that they have to walk around with masks on. They're reducing their lifespan. Their kids are sick. Um, you know, where did it make sense to put Americans out of work who using the environment as the reason, saying that we can't pollute our country, so therefore we can't make things, we can't have smokestacks, we can't, basically produce anything anymore because it emits carbon. And then you take those jobs, you ship them across the world. You have people building stuff in the worst possible way, violating the environment as severely as they can. And by the way, the air over there comes over here. So, the environmental pollution in China is coming to us. The stuff that, winds up in the ocean is coming to us. So we put our people out of work making quality products that would last a lifetime, giving people pride, especially people that didn't want to go to college and whatnot. We send it to China for slave labor, and they pollute the environment probably 10 times more than we would, send it back to us, which, by the way, is a round-trip global boat ride, consuming carbon and oil, and then sell it to us. We use it 3 times and throw it in the trash because it's a piece of shit. Okay? I want the old days to come back. I want there to be craftsmanship in our country. When something breaks, I want to take it to a guy who can fix it because it's worth fixing. I do not want to throw it away. I want to buy things that we're proud of. I want to buy craftsmanship. I want to do so with my money. I don't want to support the big box retailers. I don't want to support China. And by the way, if you think that supporting the world economy is important because they're poor, look what's going on in China. They have an agrarian society. The majority of those billions of people are farmers. So what are they doing? They're luring all the farmers into the big cities to produce stuff like this and making them dependent on their government, their communist government in the case of China. Okay, so they need more and more and more and become slaves to the government. When they're out in the fields, yes, perhaps they can't get a color TV, they may not get the latest iPhone, but they have a means of production, they have agriculture, they have family, they have tradition. Put them in the city in a giant warehouse working for clip manufacturers or Apple, and you've lost all that. So I think one of the reasons that free trade continues is they're afraid to turn it off. When you start restricting imports into the country, yes, prices will increase. Prices need to increase. This is not worth buying. I don't care if it's 49 cents. This, at a couple dollars, would be worth buying. The people who make it would be worth employing. The pollution that would be saved for the planet by not shipping stuff across the world would be worthwhile. So I don't get the current situation. I don't get why the global economy is good. I know we sell it a lot of debt, and I know we have to buy a lot of crap from other countries because they buy our bonds. But this is being perpetuated by the bankers and the government and the people that support fiat currency. It's all a means. I'm not this, but the bad one. It's all a means to keep the fantasy going that a global economy is good for us. No, a global economy has put there because the concept of growth has been perpetuated so far that we actually believe that growth is necessary to sustain our country. We actually believe at the Federal Reserve level that 2% inflation a year is a proper target because it leads to a healthy economy. Okay, 2% inflation over a lifetime steals half your money. Okay, I don't believe any inflation is a good thing, and I don't think growth is necessary when our country is already filled to the brim and everybody else wants to come in. How about we have a sustainable society? All the Democrats talk about sustainable environment, sustainable planet, sustainable carbon emissions. How about a sustainable society where we spend what we make and no more, where we make things ourselves? We don't sell our debt endlessly and print endless money. So we have to sell our debt. So we have to buy cheap crap. So children have to go into slave labor in China and work for the communist government. So I guess I'm hitting the end of my rant. If you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be posting this on Twitter, and hope you enjoyed. Losing Louie signing out.